Hi everyone, we are from Team Inwood, and today we are excited to present our capstone project, the Root Ops AI, a supply chain flow management platform. Next slide, please. So before we go any further, let me introduce with our team member. I am Mega, and then with me Tanishka and Hafiz. Together we work closely to design and build a solution for the problem that we found in the supply chain, especially in the middle mile operations. So next slide. This is the summary of our project. So nowadays, middle mile logistics struggle with fragmented system, limited visibility, and reactive decision making, all while facing the growing pressure on cost, time, and also compliance. Our operation manager is the one who faces the pressure the most because every day they need to deal with the pressure of the OKR target while also maintaining the client expectation. With our platform, we introduce an intelligent control tower that brings data together, highlight risk, and support a smarter routing and capacity decision. So through this presentation, we'll show you how we approach and can drive, will drive stronger operational performance, lower disruption, and higher efficiency. To get better understanding about the problem that we brought, let me start with quick look at the supply chain process. In general, the supply chain has three stages of process: the first mile, middle mile, and last mile. The first mile is focused on the upstreaming process, which is including the movement of inventory from the supplier to manufacturing, while the middle mile is focused on connecting the hubs, warehouse, and distribution center. While the last mile is focusing on the delivering goods from the warehouse to the end customer. So our project will focus on the middle mile where coordination and execution is most complex. According to the World Bank, timeliness in middle mile is most business critical, reliable factor, while many companies still rely on the fragmented system. So this is our persona that we use to build our system. James Collin, an operation manager in one of the logistic company in the US. Every day, James is responsible for making sure that goods are delivered on time. However, during the process, he faced some uncertainties like traffic and weather. Late deliveries become the biggest concern here, and delay directly affect the operational performance, customer trust, even his team's credibility. That's why he needs reliable operational visibility in one clear dashboard, predictive alert for traffic and weather risk, and data-driven recommendation to help him make faster and better decisions. Moreover, we also get some interviews with the practitioner in the industry, including logistic, consulting, and technology field, to validate what we already found in the previous slide and the assumption that we are going to build for our solutions. That's why we define our problem solution into the need of real-time predictive visibility into middle mile operations, so the operation manager can proactively optimize the fleet decision, prevent delays, and communicate disruption with confidence. This problem statement become the foundation of overall solution that we are going to explain later. So next.
Yeah, thank you, Mega. So we are zooming out for the market analysis from the macro landscape. So we saw that there is multiple factors here from the multiple cross-sector here that favors our solution. From the political sides, we see that the government push logistic digitalizations. And from the economic side, we see some challenge here like pressure to reduce delivery costs and volatility in the fuel price, something like that. And from the social impact, we also driven by the e-commerce needs, where e-commerce needs here needs the delivery speed expectations to be faster and trackable. And from the technology side, we see the heavy shifting here through the AI, IoT, cloud infrastructure. And but there is some something that makes it a little down. That's like integration for the legacy systems. But from the legal sides, we are also see the rising concern for the data privacy regulations here. And from the environment side, we see that our solution is fits because it aims to reduce the emissions. And here for the market opportunity itself, because our solution is based on the transportation management systems, so we are anchoring this TMS system as our benchmark. So we are using this value for the TAM, total achievable market here. We are rounding like a 2.6 billion, and narrowing down for the SAM, we are using like a 20% of TMS. That's spend related to the routing, feasibility, and operations. Based what from our solutions offer, it's around 500 million, and from there we are taking like a conservative approach. So based on 0.3% for early stage penetration, we are getting like a 1.5 million.
Okay, now coming to our platform. Our platform is RootOps AI. RootOps AI is an AI-powered supply chain and visibility platform that brings together scattered data from all across the supply chain into one common platform, using which logistic companies can make better decisions, better, faster decisions in terms of route planning, fleet allocating, and predict and it reduces the costs too. So our target segmentation are primary logistics companies, and secondary would be users of these logistics functions. Our value proposition is simple. We offer real-time visibility, AI-driven solutions through our fleeting copilot and routing copilot, which you'll be seeing in the demo, and a data-driven strategic insights and a holistic business orchestrator. So this is our customer journey mapping. I bet we all had fun like shopping in Black Friday sales, but you know who did not? I bet it was the logistics manager or the operations manager of the supply chain. I bet that it would have been a nightmare for them because it takes months of fleet allocating in order to like meet these demands. So based on the interviews that we conducted, we'd say they do want to meet SLA times. They do want to be more prepared, and they do want more data-driven insights. So let's get to our demo. So yeah, so as we enter, we see the operational performance dashboard where the operation manager basically see the SLA performance, the cost efficiency, the fleet health, and vendor reliability scores. And it gives him like an overall health of the system, which is right now 82 out of 100, which is pretty good. Then we also have AI predictions for the next 6 hours that show the weather delays, the traffic risks, traffic delays, and the shipment delays. Here's the regional delay and risk heat map, which shows all the active delays and the weather disruptions that might occur. You can also see all the affected shipments. Let's go back. And next comes our shipment operations dashboard. This is where you're going to see our routing copilot in action. As you can see, shipment 45782 is delayed. Let's see the full details, and it says it's due to a winter storm. Let's discuss with the routing copilot now. The routing copilot would have all the details of shipment 45782 loaded in him. Now the operations manager can ask it, how do you solve it? I mean, like, which are the best ways? And it would give like the best ways to solve these delays. Now, give me the full impact breakdown because it says I-80 is the most recommended. And it will give like the fuel costs, the tolls, and the driver hours, everything that he would need to make the best decisions for meeting the SLA. He can ask it more. This is what makes our system like so special, I'd say, because you can basically simulate your own, and you can basically simulate and ask it whatever you want. Like you can the driver maintain the required pace? You can ask it. And then it'll say, compare if, and you can also ask it to compare what would be like what would be the cost if without if you take the penalty and like if you actually reroute, and that would show that too. And then yes, I'm like, okay, I'm now as an operations manager, I'm satisfied. And the agent would notify all the different stakeholders involved, including the driver. Now, when you go there, it's on time now. And the same actions can be done using the demand plan order and demand planning for the fleet allocation. Okay, this is good. I'm just going to accept order. But this is not. This needs me to review. So as an operations manager, I'm going to discuss with my fleeting copilot on it. And yeah, so we're going to ask it, how do we optimize the route to reduce cost? Because it says right now the margin is negative 7.8%. It gives me proper alternatives and ways, but it still tells me that it's only going to increase the cost by 2.3. So there's still like a minus 5.5% margin. So then as an operations manager, I'm going to test my own scenarios because I have a lot of experience. So I'm going to be like, Target Logistics sometimes accepts hybrid SLAs. What if I accept this, what would be the outcome? Then it'll calculate the SLA times and it would say, okay, wow. And this way, you're also actually trading the model to make better decisions for the future. And yeah. And it says that, okay, now the margin just increased to 12.4% from 5.5% just because it's kind of, we do believe that we need a human in the loop feedback when dealing with these models. Given this improvement, should we approve this? And yes, based on this, it says we should approve. I'm going to approve the order. And yes, and the order has been approved. So now it's accepted. And we have other details to, but Hafiz is going to get to the costing.
Okay, now let me continue to our slide here. Yeah, now we are going to the cost and revenue structure here. So from the cost components, we have three major components here. The first one is for the recurring cost. Mostly it's related to the cloud infrastructure and also for the platform operations. So for the second part is usage-based cost. It's basically it's like for the AI compute cost. And the third one is mixed-based cost. So this one is for the licensing part and the data planning. Data planning. And for the revenue streams here, we try to make it simple. Like we get from two revenue stream here, from the product revenue and the consultation service. Product revenue usually comes from the contract. For the multi-year contract, it's including like access fee, module package, and also the maintenance and support. And for the consultation service, it's like more like add-on or consultation to get the new solution here. And we are moving forward to the project roadmap. So we are trying to create a 1-year project roadmap, and we divide it into 4 work streams. The first one is for the system design and data model. Second one is product development. The third one is testing and validation. And the fourth one is for GTM. Basically, for the first quarter, we are trying to build up our foundation, and with the output, it's to approve the baseline architecture to be used. And for the quarter 2, we expect to build the core MVP with our main features like routing copilot and fleeting copilot. And for the Q3, we are trying to do the pilot testing to include the industry experts here from the logistics sector. And for the Q4, we are focused to release the beta version from our application and also prepare for the GTM. And how the success looks like here, basically we are trying to map into 2 main objectives. The first one is to validate our business model is useful, and the second one is to validate our technical feasibility. So from the first one, we found out that one of the success measures here is to reduce costs. And from here, we hope that we expect from our applications, it can demonstrate like a potential cost improvement, minimum like 8% in scenario baseline routes. And for the second objective, basically we are trying to ensure that our AI recommendation quality is to be useful for the user. So for the threshold here, we are using the majority feedback, like more than half of user is satisfied with the insights and the recommendation provided by the apps. And the last one is about the ethical consideration. So we are trying to build a transparent AI that can explain why the insights to be mapped out from what factor. So from here, we look into the AI fairness to prevent bias in routing and risk scores across regions and vendors. So for the environmental impact, we are trying to optimize route so there is less emissions and fuel waste. So we are trying also to address the driver impact here to ensure the safe and regulation compliant routes. And from the data privacy side, we will try to protect the shipment, GPS, and driver data based on GDPR or CCPA compliant. So basically, we are trying to make the AI become reliable, transparent, and also we are still put the human in loop, so human is still in control. Okay, thank you. That's all from us.
Thank you.
So in your example, you showed like the weather, right? And how they could go a different direction and save amount of time. But what happens if, how do you think the LLM would react if something, odd happens, like a mid truck, like jackknife, for example, and it caused a pile up? How do you think the LLM would react to that?
Oh, no.
Sorry, I cannot hear you clearly.
So in the example, you showed the weather, right?
Yeah.
And essentially the LLM provided different ways the truck could get to the store and on time, right?
Yep.
But what happens if something, rare happens, like the truck jackknife, like turn on an angle and cause like a car pileup? How do you think the LLM would react to that?
Okay, so if there's something that LLM hasn't learned before happen in the field, and then it will be like, maybe it will impact our system. They won't be able to like predict because it's like natural, something happen unpredictable, but then it will become the feedback loop for the system that it might happen in the future. So it's part of the learning process of our LLM to build the model to be more reliable in the future. Yep.
And to add on to that, if the LLM does not have the reliable judgment, like let's say under 70%, it will move back to the safe failback process.
My question is more around when you first of all, when it was showing the prompts, is that just for the presentation? Like, how is it knowing what to ask next? Or what, like the prompt to give?
I simulated that because in real time we would need like so
Okay.
many different
like-
LLM. Yeah.
Okay.
We'd be like,
Um, So it's not like gonna give you suggested responses like, hey, approve, and then you're just gonna click on approve. or something.
No, when you click on approve, the copilot, an agent would take action and notify all the different stakeholders,
Okay.
like the driver. And
And then when you notify the driver, can the driver actually say no?
he can.
Okay.
He actually, yeah, Mega.
So practically, when we are communicating with the copilot, it will be like it will be notified when the system is approved, and then it will be notified the stakeholders. But we are going to have some layers for the driver itself. It will be like just do what the operational manager has conduct, because we think that he has bigger picture of the process, the cost. The driver doesn't know the cost consideration, something like that. So for the driver itself, it needs to be done. But for the other team, procurement team, for example, we need more fleet, and then the procurement team said like, you already have this one. There will be like two ways communication there. So it depends on the stakeholder that receive the message or the notifications.
You spoke about OKRs, but if you were to think about one KPI that would be essential for you to track the success of this product, what would that be?
From our opinion, it would be like that our platform, our software here can give a meaningful impact to improve the operational process for the middle miles.
What does the process, so I saw you had some sample companies like Walmart, Home Depot. Is your product intended for like large scale supply companies or like if smaller mom and pop firms, logistic companies?
I feel like it would make more sense for large scale to mid scale supply chain companies, because those are the ones that be handling like thousands of orders a day. And I feel like our product would be more beneficial for them.
Yeah.
Compared.
And then just follow up, what does the onboarding process look like for those companies? Because you only identified one stakeholder, which was the customer, but I feel like the hubs, if you will, would also have stakeholders involved.
Yeah, so basically we are targeting the middle mile operation, which is most of them is the big company. And how can we make sure that they onboard with us? We can like using because we are thinking this is gonna be part of the product that can be offered by Deloitte. So we gonna use the network that they have, offering with the other supply chain product that they already have. So yeah, that's what the plan.